Hello, and welcome to another episode of Pull the Chart. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. And today we are going to talk about the woman who is famous for being famous, Miss Paris Hilton. She is a media personality, a businesswoman, socialite, jack of all trades, right? So, a little background on her. So, for all of you who want to redo the years 2000s, this is your girl. She was like the it girl of the 2000s of Y2K, right? So she started modeling in the year 2000. 2001, New York called her the leading it girl.
Mm.
Um, 2003 to 2007, she had a reality show with her bestie, Nicole Richie, called The Simple Life. I did watch a little bit of that. 2003, she had her sexy tape. That's what I'm calling it. Released, and it was actually like renamed at one point, and it's when it reached like this global fame. But she was unaware that he had put it out at first. So, kind of was the start of the scandalous tapes. So reality shows, documentaries, lots of memoirs, gets into music, known for being famous, a celebutante. Early childhood was in LA, very strict upbringing, very sheltered, no makeup, no school dances, loved animals and wanted to be a vet.
Mm.
In high school, she was actually like ice skated and played ice hockey.
Wow.
And then in 1996, they moved back to New York City. And that's where she went a little out of control. And because you could go to like nightclubs very early in your teens out there, she was sent to Provo Cannon School, where it's a private school where there was alleged lots of allegations from her and other students about mental, physical, sexual abuse.
Mm.
Um, she came home from that school, dropped out of high school, but then eventually went back and got her GED. Her grandfather, right? She's part of the Hilton hotels. Her grandfather left 97% of his fortune to charity. So she has basically built herself up. I mean, obviously she had the connections, right? She had a head start, but she isn't like fully generational wealth. She has a fragrance empire. She is CEO of 1111 Media, does a lot of endorsing, licensing. She's one of the highest paid female DJs. She has the highest appearance fees too. Like she makes bank
Wow.
DJing so much money. She also in June of 2005 bought a $63 million home with her husband. She's married with 2 kids now. So let's pull up her chart. So here we have Paris Hilton's birth chart, and we have a good birth time. She is an Aquarius sun, a Leo moon, and a Sagittarius rising. And I gotta be honest, that's amazing big three. Like,
I thought the same thing.
I was like, I would take that. I would
Yes.
take that big three. That is fantastic. So right away, one of the first things is we'll just look right here at her Neptune in the first house because it is anything in your first house on your rising sign gets absorbed into that rising sign as well. And I thought this was interesting because she's a bit of a chameleon. Like
Mm.
she changes her behaviors, changes her looks, but the voice you hear her talking, that high pitched voice, is not actually her everyday voice. And I love that it's Neptune, the higher octave of Venus there. But she can change her ideas based on her mood. Um, People don't really see you clearly, and you don't really see others necessarily. You don't see yourself necessarily very clearly either. So I thought that was like a kind of a big part of her chart. Well, we can jump down to her sun, which her sun is down here in Aquarius, perfectly conjunct Mercury. And her sun trines Pluto and squares Uranus in the 12th house. And she is very open and talks a lot about her ADHD,
Mm.
which I think is like she does a lot of like work around it as well and talks about like how she manages her day. And so quite a bit of her life is how to manage that. And she was diagnosed as a child. So very resourceful. intuitive. You can be self-taught, which I was like, she dropped out of school, ended up doing a GED, has done all of these things. Can be a bit eccentric, and I think she does really kind of play into her uniqueness. She definitely has that, like, tall Aquarius woman, like, look, doesn't she?
Mhm.
So I'm gonna hop around her chart a little bit differently today versus going sun, moon, rising. Um, I wanted to go up here to her 10th house. So she has Libra on the 10th, right? So this is your midheaven, how people see you. And she is very striking, very
Mhm.
pretty,
Very
um,
pretty.
very pretty. And she
Mhm.
has another one of these like exact, like stop go, kind of like the gas pedal. You're driving and the gas pedal is being pressed at the same time in Libra. In the 10th house here can bring scandals and issues with the law. And she did go to prison in the 2000s because she got, I think she was like drunk driving and had some issues with driving and substances. And she ended up having to serve some of the jail time. But this really can be also like visions can become reality. So what she kind of like can conjure up in this like out here mind, which I see, I love this. Like she can bring it to life. And she really does like to be the best. Like she likes to be the leader. It's always like her and this sidekick, right? Nicole was like the sidekick. It was Paris and Kim Kardashian was her assistant. That's how Kim got famous. Right. So it was like she's always the leader, very driven, follows through on her projects. I don't know if you noticed this, but she has no earth in her chart.
Right.
No earth, but she has planets in her second house and 10th house. So that can take on some earthiness, but she's not tethered to this earth very well all the time. This here, and I think we've seen this in like other people too, but she has it in Scorpio where your habits and causes can kind of get you in trouble with the law. And here it is in Scorpio. So it's like some of her desires, like the maybe the drinking, and she serves some jail time.
Mhm.
She also has this Uranus at 29 degrees, intense emotions like sex appeal, can make you very rebellious, vengeful, but also new approaches to research and illness, which I thought like really played in as well with her ADHD and a lot of the stuff she does around it. She has an unaspected Pisces, Mars. This can feel a little leaky and scattered. So I think this also I feel like plays into like what happens when you have ADHD, your mind uses so much energy. And you can burn yourself out. But a lot of explorers, pioneers, like overdoers, I mean, she's got intensity, like, she gets into a project and she, like, goes, like, you can see it. Yeah, and then we'll jump on up to the moon, and then, Patty, I'm gonna totally make you jump in. It's moon in Leo because she's got some nodal play. So,
Yeah.
in the 8th house, need for security, she can misuse her sexuality a little bit. Moody, can be overindulgent, but very creative. So, but she has to learn to balance like love of family and her partner and her creativity, which I think having now that she's in motherhood helped shape this part of her life. I looked it down here as well to her Chiron in the fifth, wounds around like self worth and creativity and joy and feelings, not ever being enough and seeking validation. um, you should put your personal pain into art, and I think this is something she does with these books, these movies, her music.
Exactly.
I mean, and then she's got a quirky Aquarius Venus. She's had definitely lots of relationships. That's very Gemini. Only one marriage, I think. Pretty sure only one marriage at this point. What did you think of her chart? Do you love it?
I do love it. I do. And I thought the same thing, like, wow, that's a lovely big three, you know? And, just to tie in on a couple of things, of course, she has to have, I think you called him a sidekick, but she does have to have someone to work with her because
Mm,
she goes so fast. That Aquarius sun, there's no way that she's able to do the day-to-day stuff.
yeah,
She she
overwhelmed.
can't. She just can't. So it's good that she has someone to help her. I do feel like there's a need to have a lot of women around her. So more women partnerships, it was always Paris and her best friend,
Yes.
Paris and her assistant Kim, so
Mhm.
I do feel like that plays a lot into it, especially with that moon in Leo and then her Venus right next to her sun.
Yeah.
That kind of tells me women relationships are really important to her.
Well, the 2000s, it was always her and the girls out partying.
Hmm.
So, mhm.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
What do you think of her nodes?
Well, her nodes are pretty interesting. You can look at, two aspects. The south node
Mhm.
being down there in the second house, in her north node in the eighth house. These are I mean, easily you could say it's the money access, but it's also worth,
Yeah.
and so I think she really needed to come into this world to be brave, and had some question about it. There can be some tendencies, and it was really interesting about her, the, how you let in with, that was a really strict upbringing.
Mhm.
And the notes kind of talk about that as well, smothered, like she was smothered,
Oh. Yeah.
and so you kind of get complacent with that. Yes, I do. I'm very dependent. And then at the same time, you start to resent that. And I think that's where her Aquarius comes in.
Rebellion. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
So
kind of,
yeah.
you could look at it two ways there. Perhaps she was, well, it's Aquarius though, an Aquarius South node. So I would say I'm against the rich.
Well, that's what we're moving into right now, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
that's where the
against,
nodes are going, so she'll have a
yeah.
nodal return.
hmm
Mhm.
Yeah, they're really, it's pretty fascinating. And I think her Leo North Node is really challenging her this go around, to recognize that you cannot succeed alone. First of all,
Mhm.
you can't do this. She needs to radiate her confidence this time, this go around,
Yeah.
I think women are here to help her with that. I think what she can't see with her Neptune in the first house or even her Uranus in the 12th house,
Mhm.
she definitely can see herself in the mirror of her women friends that
Oh,
way.
I
Mm,
love that.
yeah.
Yeah. I do
Yeah,
like that.
she's interesting. It's
Yeah.
an interesting chart.
Like, I would not be upset with having this chart. I mean, yes,
Mm-mm.
she did a little little jail time, but she made it
Uh,
glamorous. It was, like, big news thing, right? Like,
yeah, but I mean the
Mhm.
2000s, everybody kind of fell apart.
Of course,
All the it girls, they all fell apart. You can look at
they're all pretty much back now. You have the Lindsay's been
right.
completely redone. You have
Mm-hmm.
Paris, Nicole as well has been doing more things. Kim never
Brittany's
really
trying.
she was part of that girl gang.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm, yeah,
Yeah,
they would all be in their little white Mercedes, right?
fun
But
times.
yeah, so we'll quickly pull up her tri-wheel because she has launching on Friday, January 30th. Um, she has a movie coming out that's called A Visual Picture Book.
A visual picture book.
She literally that's what her it's called. It's a memoir, but she refers to it as a visual picture book. It's a visual movie, supposed to be very pleasing. Hold
I
on.
love that.
Here we have Paris Hilton on the inside. We have her progressions. And so really what looking at here is her progressions right now. And today happens to be January 30th. So the date that her movie's released, you'll see she's got her moon is perfectly conjunct the Mercury in the sky in the third house. And I love that it was like a visually pleasing memoir. And then the fact that it's her progressed sun is in Aries. And I mean, her in like perfect conjunctions for doing things.
Yes,
She is definitely like of another world. I'm just gonna put that
I
out there.
agree.
And
And she's got all the partnerships, like all the partnerships around her chart.
if anyone you think is an alien, it's probably her. I'm just
Mhm.
Yeah. Also, I like that her Mars in the third. It just feels like when you say a visual memoir, it just makes me think of like being younger and having like a picture book. And this is the third house of like education. And this just feels like a very great way to like come out and publish something or bring something forth about your life.
Mhm.
So, and I think it got a lot to do. I think she follows her some parts of like her DJing life too. And I was like, oh, this is like in with music as well. And I just, and then it's all in Pisces. This feels like the right time to put out something like this. Let's pull up the buy wheel for the movie. Okay, here we have Paris Hilton on the inside. And then the movie, which I took the 10:30 premiere in New York City. I usually take New York City for all of our movies. And I actually looked up showtimes. So there you go.
Good job.
Yeah. So I do my best. I always like keep everything with New York. I'm sure things premiere in other cities and countries, but we're in the center of the map, America. So what do you see? Clearly, we're close to her birthday. So here you have a perfect, she's
Mhm.
having her, what'd you call it? Your Venus return.
Right.
I was like, oh, so pretty. Very nice. Like we talked about this in the other chart. Visual Pisces. This feels very also, what do you think of the South Node with the sun there too in your second? Like it might not be the highest grossing thing this weekend.
Maybe not. Maybe not. But I do feel like, okay, you're going to be experiencing your power.
Yeah. And you
And,
get to do it your way.
experience that. And even
Mhm.
if it scares you, you're putting this out
Yeah.
there.
I do like that it's on like the movie screens and it's Aquarius and
Hmm.
yeah, this feels like a great way for her to like put something out too because she is very like she's very visual in terms of her own appearance and like stature and how she carries herself. What do you think of this? So she's right now been going through, oh, these guys have been trining her Uranus in the 12th house.
It just feels very moving pictures to me.
Oh,
It
like
does. It
pictures
feels
of
like,
your
yeah. And
like
so think about a camera going off,
mhm,
Uranus going off, and you're in your 12th house where you're in the dark room and you're creating this masterpiece of Neptune,
oh, I
in
love
Saturn. It probably was a little bit hard. I feel like this has been a little cathartic for her,
mm,
especially Mars and then in the North Node, it's like in the house of the neighborhood too,
yeah.
and so yeah, I feel like it was
I
really
like
good.
that. I love the idea of it being like you said
Yeah,
snapshots. Like it's like
like
the pictures like
snapshots. Yeah, like the flash.
mm-hmm. Oh,
It would have a warning on the screen,
it really does.
photosensitive.
The seizure warning always.
Yes,
Whenever I see that, I'm always like, oh, okay, prepare yourself.
exactly.
Her the moon in the sky in Cancer here,
Hmm.
squaring her own. I mean, she's taking and making this visual. You're right, she probably had to partner up with people too.
Yeah, yeah, more women. It
It
feels,
is really more
and giving birth to something. It feels
that's true. Very much so giving birth to her.
amazing.
It's like I assume she has an astrologer. I assume she does.
I don't think she needs one.
Yeah, she's just like connected into like the she's
Little
out there.
antennas go
Yeah,
up.
if I would like guess anyone's an alien, she is. She's definitely got hints from other planets.
She
She's just
does. She
and
does. That's
in like the
why.
best way too. Like I really think it's like in the best way. It's not in a
Mhm.
malicious way at all.
No,
Yeah.
no.
So hopefully you can go out and see her visually pleasing memoir movie. But also it's I like seeing her pop back out more.
I
Also
agree. I
being
agree.
like I feel like her and Lindsay them going through this. I'm now a mother. I had my fun and here's my other side of my life and I'm still like taking care of myself. I know here are things I went through, so let me take care of this. So I kind of really like that.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
You
Coming
can
of
turn it
age.
around. You can turn it around, party girls.
You can. And we only know what we're told. So
Also, maybe some more people should go be party girls.
I kind of can get behind that.
Go have some more fun, kids. Go make some headlines. Headlines, please. Fun headlines. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. follow along, book readings. We're staying on the pulse of the culture.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going with.